Let's fight! Let's fight! Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. Good to see you guys in the ring, ready to fight in the Coliseum, in the arena. Let's fight, guys. Good to see each and every one of you. I even think we have a bell somewhere. Guys, somebody sent us a bell. Somebody sent us a bell. Let's fight! Stephen Monroe and Kesh Sharma, Susan McDonald, and Stephen Monroe, Beatrice Selby, all of you beautiful folks out there. How are you doing? Quite a program ahead of us. Coming up, Juretha Fernandes. Coming up, Khemraj Ramjattan. Good to see each and every one of you. Wilma Grant, let's fight. Yannick. Let's fight. Ron Royston, let's fight. Idris. Folks, someone send us a bell. Someone send us a bell, and we're gonna let's fight. Oh, I love this program. I love this program. We just have our own way. Let's fight. We got a bell, folks. We got a bell. Let's fight. Gloria Chester, good to see you. Shaborni Semple, good to see you. Let's fight, guys. Let's fight. Let's fight. Thanks to the folks who made sure that we have a bell. We ain't gonna wait on the digital one that we usually pull up here. We have a bell, folks. Let's fight. Sukchan Sudhari, Paul, good to see you. Volme Wilson, Warnella Garnett, good to see you as well. Verlin Ward, we bell, folks. We there, drinking we water, minding your own business. And lo and behold, we have a bell. We want to thank the person who bought this bell for us. Who bought the bell for us. We're going to use it. We don't refuse any kindness, folks. We ain't refusing no kindness to Verlin Ward, Mo Williams, Paulette Hicks, and Idris Williams. All of you folks, guys, I don't know about you, but you're coming on, share the live stream wherever you are. You know, those are the prerequisites. Share the live stream, smash the emoji button, partner with us. The three prerequisites of coming into the arena, coming into the Coliseum, pace and power for 2022. Quite a few things to share with you guys. We are fired up and ready to go. Hope you guys are reading us loud and clear at your end. We want no problems like last night. Let us know how you guys are receiving the audio where you are. Please let us know how you're receiving the audio. Let us know if we clear and so on. We want no problem. Volme Wilson, Marcus Jiff, and Pedal Thorne, Shawnat Sicharan Mohan, Lester William, Persis Bagot, Gladstone Matthews. Good to see each and every one of you. Mavis Doris, good to see you. Good to see Dorrit David and Millicent Cherrick. Good to see you. Dan Fordyce, Claudette Harry. Good to see all of you. Fantastic, beautiful folks. Guys, I don't know about you, but I am ready to get to the fight card, and I hope you guys are ready as well. Where are you guys this evening? Are you guys ready for us to get into the fight card as well? Are you guys ready? I hope you're ready because I am ready, and I am just holding for you guys. I am just holding for you guys. The guys are telling us that the video is great. They're telling us that the audio sounds good as well. Karen Thorne, good to see you. Have you shared the live stream as yet? Cheryl Wills, have you shared our program as yet? Emily Scott, have you taken the opportunity to share our program to your profile? Diane Fordyce, good to see you folks as well. Gladstone Matthews, folks, quite a program ahead of us. Quite a program ahead of us. And we've told you guys it's become more and more difficult because of the content. Sometimes aspects of the content we share is very, very sad. And over time, that stuff weighs on you guys. But we got to bring the information to you. Quite a program. So just remember that as you engage some of the content this evening. Adira Paradise, good to see you. Idris Williams is here with us. Koana Mingo is here with us, and we're so privileged. Deborah Jones is here with us as well. Sean Norville is here with us. Folks, don't waste time. Share the live stream. Share the live stream. Send it up, folks. Send up the shares. Send up the likes there. The emojis, whichever emojis you want to smash. Send up the emojis. I saw a song today I thought it was very, very nice. The refrain of it is send up. Send it up. Denny's London Welchman, Jamal Aziz, good to see you. Winston Kilkenny, Pamela Jerrick, Abby, Ann Beverly, Gail Alicock, Jennifer Smith, Good to see you guys. Folks, I am so fired up tonight, ready to head into the fight card. We got coming up. My morning show host, Juretha Fernandes, is joining me on some aspects of our presentation just today. And Khemraj Ramjattan is going to be with us as well. Good to see you. And folks, thanks for the hundreds of you who joined our morning program. FYI, for your information. And thanks to you, the hundreds of you that joined myself and Amanzo Walton this year for Below the Belt at 12. And thanks to all of you guys who are here joining our humble program In the Ring this evening at 8. Thank you guys so much. Good to see you. Yonet Benjamin, Lover and Peters, guys. So much information to share with you guys. I am fired up. I don't know about you, but I am ready to go, and I hope you guys are as well. Ready to get into the fight card. We're almost at 10 past. I know I've been holding for some of you guys because when you all come, you all want people to start over. You all want to know what you missed. But folks, we got to come early to class. You see when the bell rings? It's fight time. Let's fight. Let's fight, guys. I am so happy. Whoever sent us this bell, we are tremendously pleased. Whoever sent us this bell, tremendously pleased. Let's fight, guys. Let's fight. I love the song of it. It has a crisp song. Nikki Innes and Natalie Grimman. A crisp song. Braffett Stacy Braffett, Natasha Williams, Stephen Monroe, all you fantastic folks, whether you're joining us on Twitter, you're joining us on LinkedIn, you guys are joining us on YouTube, you guys are joining us on Facebook. Guys, follow the pages on social media that you are joining us from. If you guys are joining us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter as well. You guys are joining us on YouTube, subscribe to that YouTube channel so you get the notifications whenever we come on. LinkedIn, follow us on LinkedIn as well. Good to see each and every one of you. That being said, folks, welcome to our program, In the Ring. I'm your host, Shara Duncan. I'm privileged to be here with you. Pace and power we have set for 2022. And guys, how fast the year has already been rushing by. We're done with January. We're now in February. The second day already. Pace and power. And we've said here, you have to have your goals. You have to have your vision. You got to hold fast to your dreams, folks, and pursue them. Don't wait. Plan, but execute as well. Execute. Let's get going. Ready to get to the fight card. Shenanigans happening at GCOM. The GCOM shenanigans. Yep. Lots of shenanigans happening at GCOM, folks. Lots and lots of shenanigans. Adele Simple, Seymour George. Lots of shenanigans. Alicia Campbell. And we've told the folks there, you got to get your act in order. We've told them you got to get your act in order. Folks, just last evening, we were telling you that some folks at GCOM, they thought they had this thing under control. They said they were the answer to all the problems at GCOM. And then we see how these guys are now crying out. They are now crying out. They are not prepared for the work there at all. And I refer to the PPP commissioners there. I refer to them. And we were telling you guys just last evening that they are telling us that they are now preparing the roadmap for hosting of local government election, for the hosting of local government elections. It's like they forget where the polling places are. It's like they forget where the GCOM offices are around the country. It's like they forget the principles and the policies and everything else that go with the holding of these elections. So they're now telling us, folks, that they are going after the roadmap. They are looking for the roadmap. They're looking for the roadmap. They're preparing the roadmap. But as they are saying that, folks, the opposition commissioner is saying, include in that roadmap, the cleansing of the voters list. The cleansing of the voters list. They're saying that it is integral to any amendment of the electoral law. So they're telling their colleagues there at GCOM, when you are looking and building and preparing, constructing this roadmap, ensure folks, ensure Bibi Shadiq, ensure C.S. Gunraj, ensure that the cleansing of the voters list, right, is there in the roadmap, that y'all stop by there, the cleansing of the voters list. It is integral to any amendment of the electoral laws. And folks, that is some of the shenanigans happening at GCOM. That is some of the shenanigans there happening at GCOM. I'm having so much fun. hitting this bell. That is some of the shenanigans we are covering, guys, happening there at GCOM. Look what else is on our fight card this evening. Look what else is on the fight card. That's the shenanigans happening at GCOM. Fires of the PPP. Fires of the PPP. And we said this to you guys. We said this to you guys. Since them guys come back, there's a fire nation. Since they came back, it's a fire nation. You got two kinds of people in this country. Two kinds of people in this country. You got Fight Nation, we understand. And you got Fire Nation. GT Road Girl, I know you from Fight Nation. Karen Thorne, Fight Nation. Diane Graves Andy, Fight Nation. Barrow, Spurley, Fight Nation. Pamela Dover, Fight Nation. No fire. No fire. Pollyann, Fight Nation. Joycelyn Richards, Fight Nation. Gladstone Batshu, Fight Nation. Sandra Rambaran, Fight Nation. Fires or the PPP. Since them boys come back. Since they come back, fire. Since they come back, fire. So we were monitoring this fire here just today, guys. Just today in Middle Road, Le Penitence. The fires of the PPP. The fires of the PPP. And we are being told, guys, we are being told that 15 persons from the Castillo housing scheme have been left homeless following this mid-morning fire. And quite sadly, the fire is believed to have been started by a 3-year-old who was playing with a cigarette lighter on a bed. It is believed, it is alleged, that this is how the fire started in Castillo housing scheme there in Middle Road, Le Penitence. Folks, the fires of the PPP, since them guys come back August 2nd, 2022 now, is fire after fire after fire after fire. Y'all don't believe us? Take a look, guys. Let's take a look at some of what transpired there on Middle Road just this morning with this fires of the PPP. Take a look at this.
Jump up on the roof and fight the fire. Let's fight the right. Once it's done, jump up on the roof and start bringing the fucking place. Ain't got belly, there's no belly. Anybody could fucking do that. Stand up there and spray water, mother. I just got me focus here. I tell you, all of you could have killed him for money. All of you could have killed him if he jump up on the roof.
Yep. Those were some of the scenes from Middle Road, Le Penitence, and Castillo housing scheme in particular, where that fire is believed to have been started by a 3-year-old playing with a lighter on a bed. Fires of the people. And guys, we have been chronicling here, if you've been following this program ardently, the fires that have been set since August 2nd, 2020 on this program, the fires of the PPP. Take a look at some of that. We have been sharing this here with you, chronicling the fires of the PPP, guys. Take a look at this. Just going to take out that graphic at the bottom. Fires of the PPP. Brickdown Police Station. Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. And you know, in a subsequent broadcast, we are going to be talking about this fire the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, because we are being made to understand. We have some new information coming to light about some of the actors here and about people who were trying to paint Dr. Etwaru in a certain light. And we're going to be talking about that on a subsequent broadcast, because new information has been coming to light about this fire that transpired at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. We've had to fire the Office of Professional Responsibility and the DPP's office, that building that houses those two entities. Fire there. We're still waiting for the report. The Charlestown Post Office went up in flames. There was a building at Camp and Charlotte Street went up in flames. Sharon Mall, Le Parc and Bond, Le Parc and Wharf, Guyana National Shipping Corporation Limited. Just last weekend on Lombard Street, there was a building on what the street is that? Cross Street and Working Ross. Just last week, and a Chinese-owned store, managed store on Regent Street, also suffered at the hands of fire just in the last few months. And then there were fires, and then there were rumors of fires. There were false alarm fires. NIS Brickdam, GPO Camberville Post Office, Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development. Folks, you see what we say? Fires of the PPP, fires of the PPP. And as we get more information on these issues, of course, guys, we are going to have that for you. Folks, we know when you guys come, you get very engrossed in the program, but we want you guys to be active with your hands as well. We want you guys to smash that emoji button. We want you to keep those comments coming, folks. And we want you also, guys, to share the live stream. David Passad, Mark Doris, Koana Mingo, Winston Goodluck, Diane Graves-Andy, Kimo Waldron. Share the program, smash that emoji button. Again, we're going to be circling back to that GPHC story, that Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation story, because we have some new information at hand, and we think you guys ought to know. We don't like see wrong happening. We don't like see people getting set up and so on. So we can be taking a second look at that story in a subsequent broadcast. We believe it's on the fight card for tomorrow evening. But again, new information coming to light on that matter, and we're going to be sharing that with you as we head along on the fight card. I love this bell. Thanks to the folks who sent it to us. National Assembly. The National Assembly. There is no dull moment at the National Assembly, folks. No dull moment at all. And today, I want to say respect and manners. Respect and manners. Today, folks. Today, respect and manners. Today, Dr. Nicolette Henry resigned for all intents and purposes for the National Assembly. She has said that she wants to focus on other work. She wants to focus on the future ahead of her, and she has tendered her resignation. And I think this was a fantastic budget presentation by Nicolette Henry. Priya Malik-Chan, the Minister of Education, the installed Minister of Education, spoke after former Minister of Education, Dr. Nicolette Henry. But I don't think anybody heard Priya. Priya it was a bad day for Priya. It was a bad day to try to follow what Dr. Nicolette Henry said there as she resigned from the National Assembly. A very, very substantive presentation, challenging budget 2020 on several fronts. And then she bid farewell to her colleagues. A very emotional moment. For me personally, as a young member of parliament, as a young politician, as a young man in this business, a tremendously moving presentation by Dr. Nicolette Henry as she bid farewell to her colleagues in the National Assembly, guys. As she bid farewell, I thought she did it on her own terms, and she did it from heights, from soaring heights. Let me put it in that way. She did it from soaring heights, bidding farewell to her colleagues on both sides of the aisle in the National Assembly. Respect and manners. Respect and manners, Dr. Henry. You are admired by us. You are loved by us. We are sad to see you go. Respect and manners. Here are some of the things that Dr. Nicolette Henry said as she wrapped up her presentation in the National Assembly and bid farewell to her colleagues. Here is Dr. Nicolette Henry.
As I conclude my presentation, Mr. Speaker, allow me to place on record a few thank yous. In light that this is my final budget presentation in this honorable house, of course, I begin by thanking none other than His Excellency former President Granger, who reposed in me the confidence to serve in this honorable house. I am forever grateful to the people of this country who afforded me the opportunity to serve them with professionalism, dignity, and accountability. I thank the coalition partners, Khemraj, for their unwavering support and guidance. I thank the former opposition leader, my friend and colleague, the Honorable Joseph Harmon, for his unwavering support. I thank each and every member in this honorable house for the commitment and dedication they bring each and every day, sometimes under the most difficult of circumstances. I thank my family who has always held my back and who has supported every decision I have made. And so today, it is with those words that I part company and I conclude my contribution to Budget 2022. I thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Folks, y'all sharing this live stream. Y'all are sharing this live stream. I thought those were such beautiful words, especially, we don't hear it often. We don't hear it often. When she reached across the island, she said, I want to thank my colleagues on the other side. Also, we come here every day and we give of our best. Folks, we work hard in this country. We work hard in this country. We might not agree always. We might not agree lots of times with our colleagues on the other side. But in a beautiful, sweeping moment in the National Assembly, Dr. Nicolette Henry went out in her own way. A class act, I saw someone said, I think Raphael Trotman, in responding to her resignation, said, Nicolette, you are a class act. And seeing her, listening to her there. Folks, put aside politics for a while. When people have served their country, have given service to their country, we can respect that. You don't have to agree with us. You do not have to agree with us. And I'm going to say something here. It might sound strange to you all. For just a brief moment, as Nicolette leaves the National Assembly, I didn't hear a heckle from the government side. Somebody must have said to them, we are not going to send our colleague off like that. And for that, I say to the members of the other side of the National Assembly, respect and manners. Somebody, some wise person in the PUP, somebody with wisdom, said to the others, we're not going to heckle Nicolette Henry. We are going to give her the respect. We are going to give her the respect of listening to her presentation and giving her that kind of solemn send-off. And for that, don't get tired, for that, I say respect and manners. I say respect and manners. And so, fare thee well, Dr. Nicolette Henry, former Minister of Education, on the next leg of your journey. Fare thee well. Fare thee well. And that's what happened in the National Assembly today, folks. Moving on in the fight card. I told you guys as we began this program, that these broadcasts sometimes are becoming more and more difficult for us as you engage certain bits of information. And on a regular basis now, more often than not, we turn our attention this evening to tragedy on the Mahaika Bridge. Tragedy on the Mahaika Bridge, folks. Tragedy on the Mahaika Bridge. Those of you who are now catching up with bits of information or with a day's activity, there was a horrific accident today on the Mahaika Bridge. What do we know at this hour? We know that 2 are confirmed dead in the Mahaika smash-up, and 2 children, age 2 and 8, 2 confirmed dead in that Mahaika smash-up, and 2 children, 2 and 8, were injured. We were made to understand that there was a police vehicle chasing a civilian, also in a vehicle, and some mishap on that Mahika Bridge. We don't have all the details as yet. Some mishap occurred there, and it ended up into a horrific smash up, ladies and gentlemen. And that is some of the information we have at this hour. The two persons who have been confirmed dead have been identified as Juretha Prasad and Christopher Bagwandat. Juretha Prasad and Christopher Bagwandat. We are made to understand, again, details are very sketchy, that Christopher left one location to go to another location. In between those two places, he would have encountered the police. And again, details are sketchy, so these are allegations. He would have encountered the police, who pulled him over at some point. And when they were engaging him, he drove off. And so a chase ensued. Again, folks, these are sketchy details that we have. I want to preface what comes next with that. Sketchy details that we have. Nonetheless, guys, we continue to follow what is happening in this issue, and some of the imagery we have coming out from a business place, a CCTV camera in the vicinity of that bridge. Some of the video we have coming out from a camera placed at a business place in proximity to the bridge showed us this. Yep. We did say it was a horrific smash up. And we know it's a very short insert. And so we're inclined to play it again so that you guys have a good sense of exactly what transpired there as the vehicles impacted each other. That being said, folks, again, that is the imagery of the impact that was sustained by the vehicles on that Mahika Bridge. In a very strange twist, as you don't often see, young Juretha Prasad just last year was in the National Assembly. We're being made to understand was in the National Assembly as part of the Youth Parliament debate. Young Juretha Prasad was part of that debate there, and we're being made to understand that part of her presentation centered around using the roads properly. Part of her presentation, folks, centered around using the road properly. Take a listen.
Speaker, I believe if that number can go from 15 to 6 in 1 year, through proactive dialogue, it can work without a doubt. Can be reduced further to put an end of this horror. Hence why, Madam Speaker, we call on all drivers, road users, and citizens to not only obey the law, but to also be considerate of their own lives and the lives of those around them.
Again, folks, I hope you understand what transpired there. The young lady which met her demise just this afternoon, just last year, was in the National Assembly talking about road usage and using the roadways properly. Again, if it rushed by, I want to play it once more for you guys.
Madam Speaker, I believe if that number can go from 15 to 6 in 1 year, through proactive dialogue, it can work without a doubt. Can be reduced further to put an end of this horror. Hence why, Madam Speaker, we call on all drivers, road users, and citizens to not only obey the law, but to also be considerate of their own lives and the lives of those around them.
Yep, there we have it, folks. There we have it. Gone too soon. Sharita Prasad and Christopher Bagwandat. And our thoughts and prayers go out to all those injured in this accident here, especially those two young people, ages 2 and 8, those toddlers. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the deceased and all of those injured. Our thoughts and prayers are with you guys. Moving along in the fight card, we have Khemraj on with us. This is some of the scenes from that accident today. Some of the scenes there from that horrific accident on the Maihika Bridge. Gone too soon indeed. Moving on in the fight card, folks. COVID-19 still with us, claiming its own victims. COVID-19 and the surge. 2 more deaths today. 276 new cases of COVID-19. And this is what our dashboard looks like. As we said, 276 new cases, new deaths, 5. I think we have to correct our initial graphic there. Total deaths, 1,176, 8,595. Active cases, the confirmed cases are well over 45,000. That is what is happening on the COVID front, folks. And finally, the main event, folks, we're going to be joined by the leader of the Alliance for Change, Member of Parliament, Khemraj Ramjattan, and Juretha Fernandes is going to be joining us as well. She had a fantastic presentation during the course of the day. Let's welcome Khemraj this evening for the main event. Khemraj, a very good night to you, sir. And
thank you very much. Thank you very much, and my apologies for missing out last night. I had some difficulties, and I just couldn't make it. But I'm here, and I see Juretha
is here with us as well. I was just, you preempt because I was going to say you ditched us last night, Khemraj. You ditched us.
Boss, look, I was tired like hell. And when you tell me in an hour's time, I went and slept in my hammock in the veranda, and I just gone clean out.
That was it. Khemraj, let's start on where Juretha, welcome to the program. Well, I see you on a regular now, saying no fancy intro for you. Our Shadow Finance Minister, Member of Parliament, Juretha Fernandes, and also the co-host of our morning program. Now, FYI for your information. That being said, Khemraj, what's happening on our roadways? You were the former Minister of Public Security and now Ministry of Home Affairs. What's happening on our roadways? And then for the police to be involved in this matter as well is quite chilling, quite telling too.
Sharad, I've always said that almost on any of these accidents, there is a tremendous amount of individual irresponsibility. When I saw that clip, that vehicle, I think is the police vehicle, was going at a terrific rate. I don't know if it was following another vehicle or if it was.
That's what it said.
Yes. Well, it doesn't seem so. It doesn't seem so because it did hit up to that truck. I get a different perspective from what the police are saying. And there again, it is absolutely, so dangerous for people to be driving at that speed. And especially when you're coming onto a bridge. So, some people feel that they own the roads. And every day we saw one in front of Parliament today, the Artachung Center. And it is because, in my opinion, because it is individual irresponsibility. And more, we have to become a disciplined, self-restrained people. These roads could and we don't have the best light ups like in nighttime events. We don't, but this was a broad daylight incident, and it was speeding. Speed thrills, but it kills, and it is individual irresponsibility. And look what has happened. And I noticed like one of the fellas there run out and run into a yard there. I don't know if they managed that was a survivor or what. But, it really is smacking of irresponsibility. I just can't overemphasize that. And we have to really go back and have a training period for some of these drivers, because some of them I know, need a retraining period, and especially medical, or a medical checkup. Some of them, and it could very well be that some of them are on drugs too. We found, as minister, that some of the drivers are on drugs, and speeding along, not even thinking, or being, to the extent appreciating the danger that they could cause to others. And so it's a number of factors, and we have to have more policemen on the road, actually, but not policemen like that was driving that fast, to watch over these fast drivers and reckless drivers.
You know what, Khemraj and Juretha, I think isn't there an SOP on what is the procedures and protocols when a chase ensues? That, I mean, the I think the duty of care for human life has to be very, very high there. I mean, what are your thoughts, Juretha?
All right, Jureta, you got to put
Sharon,
one on
we
mute.
have. I don't think the drivers in this country, we see recklessness on the roadways every single day. That's just the blatant truth of the matter. We see so many persons taking unnecessary risk, and I often tell people that you must never be in such a hurry that you're willing to risk your life to get to where you go. And that situation there today is somewhat different based on all the reports that we've been seeing online. But persons need to be very, very careful in how they use the road. Where there are so many SOPs out, shared, especially I think Mr. Ramjattan will be better able to speak to the police department and what standard operating procedure they have to guide in such instances. So I personally don't know of that offhand. But I do know, generally speaking, we've been cautioning persons in the way in which they use the roadways, and so persons drive at speeds that are over the speed limits and all of those things all the time. People take a lot of risk on the roadways, and no one ever believes that they are going to be the one to be in an accident. And I keep saying that when persons say, I'm very careful, I say, but you don't know the person that's coming opposite you. You don't know who you're going to encounter on the road. When you think that you're careful and you're putting your own life at risk, so persons will need to be very, very careful when you're out there. Take all the necessary precautions. Don't be too close um, to another vehicle, some bumper to bumper with terrific speed. And it just doesn't work. It don't give you the leeway to actually make that on the spot decision, those halts and all of those things. But Mr. Ramjatan, if there is a standard operating procedure,
The
I would
standard
appreciate that
operations
if
in
first
relation to
it
these
can be
matters,
shared. Yes.
the standard operation is exactly as it is for everybody else. You have to take care. And if you feel, as a policeman in hot pursuit, you are going to endanger the lives of members of the other members of the public, you have to back off to prevent that danger. You must not imperil any other member of the public. And I don't know, thus far, even from the policemen that have survived this, as it were, why they were chasing, if they were chasing that first front vehicle. I mean, was it that they had a bomb in the car, that they were going to Parliament with a bomb or some such nonsense? It could not be. But look at the speed that they were driving at. And even if you now know that that front car is driving that fast, you do not imperil at a bridge which gets narrower. You back off, knowing very well that even if the front car was to hit the opposing traffic, you are not going to crash up like you did and really broke up the whole vehicle there. So I really can't understand some of these policemen driving. And, I tried as best as possible. I remember, because of this bad driving, I said I will take away the salary for 3 months of drivers so that they could repair back the police vehicle. But you couldn't really do it, because the wives of these policemen came to my ministry begging, how the children gonna eat? And the children like that, 2 year, 4 year, 5 year, and you get them coming up like that. And you emotionally again, you just can't deny children now the food that the father will bring through the salary. So you couldn't do that. I had to step back. So, but it is these people, and I want the police senior officers to watch how some of these fellas are driving and take away the vehicle from them, take away their licenses, or also get, as I had proposed, police sometimes don't want to do it, get members of the public to telephone in that this policeman is driving like a road hog. And so that based on the amount of complaints and so on, verification of them, you can then deal with them. But, they don't want to police themselves. And you have that problem sometimes administratively.
Yep. And as we said, to the families and relatives and loved ones of the deceased, our thoughts and prayers, even those injured, we were made to understand a 2-year-old and an 8-year-old as well. Our thoughts and prayers go out to them. That being said, Khemraj and Juretha, it's not every day we see a member of parliament resign from the National Assembly. And I know Khemraj in particular has worked very closely with Dr. Nicolette Henry in the Absolute AFC coalition, the last government. And I know you guys were in the National Assembly when she gave her contribution to budget 2020 and her farewell remarks. But for the benefit of those of you who are now joining us, this is what Nicolette said in the National Assembly, Dr. Nicolette Henry, that is, as she bid farewell to her colleagues on both sides of the island. I want to get some reaction from Khemraj and Juretha on the other side. Take a listen.
As I conclude my presentation, Mr. Speaker, allow me to place on record a few thank yous. In light that this is my final budget presentation in this honorable house, of course, I begin by thanking none other than His Excellency former President Granger, who reposed in me the confidence to serve in this honorable house. I am forever grateful to the people of this country who afforded me the opportunity to serve them with professionalism, dignity, and accountability. I thank the coalition partners, Khemraj, for their unwavering support and guidance. I thank the former opposition leader, my friend and colleague, the Honorable Joseph Harmon, for his unwavering support. I thank each and every member in this honorable house for the commitment and dedication they bring each and every day, sometimes under the most difficult of circumstances. I thank my family who has always held my back and who has supported every decision I have made. And so today, it is with those words that I part company and I conclude my contribution to Budget 2022. I thank you.
Khemraj, your name calling.
Yeah, look, I had a wonderful relationship ministerially and parliamentarily with her. And it brought out tremendous emotions because it is more than 5 years we were with that relationship. And knowing the difficulties that were being, had to be addressed and so on. It touched me. It was a moving moment. And I must say that it was a remarkable thank you to everyone. It shows how large-hearted she was. And she knew that government side is our opponent or, rivalries. But at the very end of it, it is all for Guyana. And also, I know of the internal APNU politics and so on that were playing out. And being the person who is going to resign to make, I suppose, space for the leader of the PNC now, it showed class, it showed character, and it showed the fact that she's willing to sacrifice. And all come into one there. And then, I had to hustle out after her, and I did give her a big hug in the corridor. It was very moving, and I'm going to miss her. We have an expert there that understands the education ministry well, that understands the education policies of the APNU FC coalition very well. And I think she was the best understanding those policies and so on. So it would have been an asset were she to continue there. She gave a wonderful speech too. And I want to also praise the government side, realizing that it was her final speech, not heckling and being very, very respectful. I thought that might have been a hint that Gail would have given them, being there for some 30 years, like myself, in Parliament. And it is a norm generally, and I'm certain Gail had a hand in that. Um, but it was a moving moment for me, and I'm going to deeply miss her and her expertise and experience in education.
Juretha, you for your part on social media, you have served this nation well. I'm truly thankful for your phenomenal service in the education sector of Guyana. Your hard work has impacted the lives of thousands who will continue to pay it forward. Best wishes in your future endeavor.
Yeah, correct, Sherrod. That was my post, whilst I was still at Parliament actually, because Nicolette Henry, I captured that photo just after she made her presentation in National Assembly. As she came out, I seized the opportunity to capture a photo with Nicolette Henry because there's only one Nicolette Henry. Let's be quite honest. I've spoken earlier, I believe it was in my 2020 budget presentation, if I'm not mistaken, that I spoke about the contribution to the education sector altogether. And you must acknowledge the tremendous work that she did, and her accomplishment is not just touted in Guyana but throughout the Caribbean. Nicolette Henry would have presided over a time that Guyana received the best ever CSEC results in the history of the Caribbean. So we have she comes with a lot. It's just not the DR doesn't come in front of her name just like that. She has earned her stripes altogether. She is extra an extraordinary person. She went in there into this political arena. She took her lashes. She had thick skin to deal with it all, and she was phenomenal in delivering policies that directly impacted the education sector, and that is the truth of the matter. It was indeed a privilege to have served with Nicolette Henry. I didn't have the privilege like Mr. Ramjattan did to serve with her while she was a minister. But since we've been in Parliament in August of 2020, she has been there, and she is always so professional. She has this stateswoman approach to everything, and at no point in time anyone could ever accuse her of getting down in the gutter with anyone, no matter what persons throw at her. She was always coming out proper as a woman, ladylike, very, very professional in everything that she did. And she basically knew that she didn't have to say much. Her track record speaks for itself. So definitely I'm going to miss her, and I think that her action did show a lot of selflessness, and I believe her actions further as a young parliamentarian, and she showed tremendous strength in that presentation that she delivered. I don't know if I could have done that in such fine style and class that she ended on today. So Nicolette Henry, well done. We're proud. And as I said in my post, how you've impacted the lives of thousands of Guyanese, and they're going to pay it forward, because a lot of times we don't understand when persons are dealing with the education sector, your policies are influencing lives. You are molding the minds of the future of this country. And her policy would have directly impacted the minds and lives of thousands of students in this country. And now they have the opportunity to go pay that forward. So she has done well, and we are tremendously grateful. And I can say I can further say, from the youth arm of the Alliance for Change YFC, the comments in that grouping has all been positive. That Nicolette Henry has indeed done a phenomenal job into the education sector, and her legacy will remain and outlive her.
Excellent, excellent. Fairly well, Dr. Nicolette Henry. Fairly well. That being said, as we were on parliamentary affairs, I know Khemraj is part of part of a presentation that you made in National Assembly, you understand that people in this country are hurting, and I guess you would have expected a better budget, and you ended up asking for an increase in the minimum wage. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, look, it all had to do with the fact that we are going to be an extraordinarily wealthy country. And we right now are very poor. We had 607 million US dollars in that treasury. Well, it is in the Federal Reserve Bank. We have inflation that is causing massive difficulties and challenges. Some people can't eat 3 square meals these days. Lots of people, as a matter of fact. And as an incentive, I made a proposal there that we should jump that minimum wage. I think it is presently 55 thereabouts, minimum wage, from 55 to 100,000. Why I did that is because of the fact that I checked out the basket of food items that will come up to about $50,000, rentals, maintenance of your, buying some clothing per month, this, that, and it all added up to about 110, but you round the figure off at 100 and said that it is something that should be proposed to the government of the day, that is what we should do. I know of a lot of businessmen that make a lot of money too, because remember, I'm not only asking that this be public service minimum wage. By the way, a lot of businessmen pay workers even less than what government does. A massive exploitation of our Guyanese people by the private sector, and they make a lot of profits. Some of them don't pay their taxes. A lot of them don't, and a lot of them lobby the PPP to ensure that taxes are removed, just like that 2%. I remember in 1994 thereabouts, Mr. Asgarali brought in a 2% tax that you have to pay up front, and then you can get it deducted once when you charge back at the end of the year, when you take out back all your taxes and so on. And it is important that these people that pay workers cheaply, $55,000 only, as against a larger amount, and I am saying and making the argument for 100,000, that when you pay your workers well, they're far more comfortable and they have a disposable income and a purchasing power that will buy back the goods that the company of these businessmen are producing. So there is always what is called the symbiotic relationship between the workers and those who are the corporate entities that are involved with whatever the workers have to do for them. So it is important that we now, by virtue, and the government was making the case that, we're going to be so wealthy now and businesses are coming in to invest in this and that and all of that. Well, if all of that is happening and that is the truth, and your economy is going to fly, well, make the workers' wages fly too.
Yeah.
That's the argument. And we're going to rationalize, because I am certain that people like Ashni Singh and Bharat Jagde will come and say how this thing is a pie in the sky. Ramjattan calling numbers out of your head and so on. No, it is not pie in the sky. If you are telling me that the economy is doing so magnificently, then we should pay our workers more. I mean, when you check out the cost of living now, how come so many Guyanese could live on $55,000 after rents and food and education and transportation and all of that, medicines that you sometimes need? Oh gosh. So it is important that this at least be stated to them, because they're saying that we ain't got no alternative, we're not coming up with anything. Only the PPP feel that they could come up with things, And that is why, as a part of my address, I had to remind them what we did for agriculture, how much money we spent in the sugar industry. They go in and tell the East Indians and Albion and all over the place that we didn't spend no money on sugar. We didn't do nothing for sugar. Nothing we didn't do for sugar. The first 36 months, as I've always stated, we spent $1 billion a month. Now it looks like they're spending about $1 billion too. And they know that the thing is a black hole, as I mentioned. But we're going to come to all of that. But in relation to my call for a minimum wage of 100,000, it is justified in the scenario that the PPP is painting of how magnificently they have now managed the economy. Well, if you manage it magnificently, give us the increase that is corresponding with that magnificence.
Very well. And that correlates with something that I think was in Juretha's presentation, because really and truly they had promised a 50% increase. But then MP Sonia Parag, an installed minister, said that that was Photoshop. But there were other projections as well. They projected in the campaign trail they could increase wages and salaries by 50%. Now you got 7%, 3.5 over the last two budget. But Juretha in her presentation was tracking all of these projections, these lofty projections that were made, because they felt that they could have done better than the APNU AFC administration. And several of those projections, if not all of them, they received an F grade. None of them, a host of them were not met. Juretha.
Sure. Just one correction to Mr. Ramjattan with the minimum wage,
Minimum
because
wage, yes,
the
that's
coalition did bring the minimum wage up to $70,000, and with the 7% that they did in 2021 across the board, 7%, it took that up to $74,900. But the private sector minimum wage is still pegged at the 55, and that is something that is very serious. But Mr. Ramjattan is absolutely not right. If you would person would recall, in 2020, Mr. Ramjattan went to the House and he said, gave the public service a 10% increase. He called it, he was in his very first presentation since they took office, he said, give them a 10% increase. And if they had done the 10% increase then, and if they had come back in 2021 and do another 10%, and then come back now in 2022 and give another 10%, they would have gone well over the $100,000. But that is not their concern. They have little concern for that all together. And I did rightly so, shared, as you were saying, in my presentation today. My presentation was pretty easy to put together, because it's basically just putting back their numbers together and giving it to the people of Guyana. Because of course Ashley Singh is not going to go to the National Assembly and said, yes, I had projected this, but this is what is being delivered. That's not how you do politics. So he just went and said, well, these are the figures. So I believe it was very important for Guyanese to understand that this is the same set of people that came and said that the coalition did not know what they were doing. This is the same set of people that said they had the expertise, they know what to do, and they care and all of that. And these people are coming back here right now in
the same Jagabats.
2022. They have delivered a report that said that they failed to accomplish any target they have set. And that's not something we should sweep under the carpet. They would not have given us the freedom to slip that under the carpet, and we will not do that either. They would have beat us down if we were in that seat that they're in right now, and if we had missed those targets so tremendously that they had, like they have, they would have been on every single news media beating us down. And we have to address it. And I know that, I believe Miss Dirat Indar actually presented after me. And his presentation is quite amazing, that you try to sway blatant facts. These are the numbers. This is the blatant fact that it is, and yet you go, you shout and scream. You try to make people believe that it is what it isn't, and that's what he did. At one point in time, when he was actually addressing the 2%, and I heard him shouting across at Mr. Ramjattan, because he seemed very upset, and his I haven't seen him actually address anything substantial that deals with the actual working class of this country. So he doesn't understand the importance of these matters. So you just leave it at that. and you move on. Because, like I said, I opened my presentation with a Mark Twain quote, I believe, and I said, you basically if you try to argue with stupid people, they're just going to drag you down to their level, and they're going to beat you with experience. And I ended that presentation by saying that the PPP is just two sets of people: persons that do not care on one hand, and persons that do not know on the other hand. So you have persons that do not care leading persons that do not know, and that basically sums up how they operate. And a lot of their MPs, they really don't understand the concept of the budget
Yeah.
altogether, and all they get is what they tell them to go out there and say. And that's the actual truth. That's why you would never see some of them facing the media. They will never be allowed to answer a single question put to them by the media, because they have to be spoon-fed responses, and they cannot stand up to any form of scrutiny.
Yep. Yep. Well, unless Khemraj has
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I got quite a lot to say about the fact too that they have not planned for what is going to happen. Look, that same Indar Singh or Indar,
Deduct in
he,
there.
yes, right, Indar. That same Indar is giving the impression as if these declining numbers for sugar, rice, everything that Juretha talk about is as a result exclusively of this flooding and the supply chain as a result of COVID. But we warned them, even in the first budget that they presented, primarily in the second one, that because Guyana, and especially in the context of a 2005 flood, and the entire international, we are on 6 foot underwater, 6 feet underwater, and so on. We have to start looking for what is called the green set of policies to ensure that we do not have these flooding. He says that, okay, you know what happened at Albion is 4,000 hectares and this and that were affected. Yeah, we know that. But when you're making your projections, you have to now take into consideration that every May, June, or December, you're going to get a big rain. And when you get big rains and it is there in the back dams and it comes through these rivers, you have to have the river mouth dredged properly so that at low tide, all the water flow out. Them fellas didn't understand that. They don't understand that. And with the monies that they
Comprehension.
have, 607 million US dollars, one would have thought that they're going to buy this what you call it, the machine that is going to dredge the mouths of these rivers to ensure, you see, because when the rain falls so heavily, the mouth being where it is shallower and so on, and at the bottom is deeper, the water can't run out even at low tide. At some points in there, you can go and stand up in the Pomeroon River at the mouth. It's only 3 feet deep, whereas right down at the bottom, it's 60 feet deep. So if you want the water to run out during low tide, so that it will prevent the flooding of all the farmers on both sides of the banks, you got to get a dredge there now. Now, we tried our best to get that dredge, but it was $900 million. And that is why Noel Holder just couldn't manage, because we didn't have the money. But we said we are going to get it once we get, of course, in 2020. Well, of course, so many things happened and we were not there anymore. But we were warning them, please, you have to look after your farm. Assuming there was such a dredge last year now being purchased or taking out monies from the non-oil treasury, they could have gotten that thing even the previous year, 2020. And even this year now, no projection for it. So when you come May, June's, and let me say Albion flood up or Kanji flood up at the back there, you're going to get flood now at Albion. And they're going to say, well, we got to go give flood relief. We got to go and did it. Instead of all the billions you have taken to do flood relief, buy a bloody piece of machinery that will dredge the river at the mouth.
Yeah.
That is what I was talking about.
That doesn't give way. That doesn't give way to kickbacks.
Exactly.
And corruption.
Yes. But every now and again, all these kickbacks they get in the flood relief, and they vex bad. When I say, well, take out on the website the names of every farmer that got flood relief and how much they got. Some got up to $8 million. Some got more than 2 million and so on for little gardens and so on. And some people ain't got none. Please put the thing on the website because we all gonna know who and who got. They don't want to do that. Put the cash grant on the website. We all gonna know. That is transparent government. It's public monies. I notice the Minister of Education this afternoon indicated that we have to get the permission of the people who are paid the cash grant. What nonsense is that? Once it's public money and parliamentarians ask for information as to who and who got, they're supposed to provide it. We even got a commissioner of insurance, commissioner of information that we could go to and get that information. You understand? So it is best then go through all these bureaucracies. Please put it on the website. Khemraj Ramjattan got $2 million for 40 acres or whatever, this and that. And then you get it right through there. And then we're going to see whether indeed who and who got. But they don't want to, because and now they're using the pretext that these people don't want to. I suppose they feel a thief man go and thief the money from them. Well, the people don't bank them in the bank and so on, or they don't utilize it for the next crop. But this is how they try to avoid and evade
Yep.
scrutiny
Yep.
and transparency.
Yep.
But
Correct.
it is this
I
planning I
think
come back to.
I
I
think
come back to
Mr.
that.
Ramjattan,
Yeah.
I believe the reason why they don't want to put it up is because they believe it's going to it's going to cause a lot of civil unrest among in within communities and so forth. Because
When people start coming
when
out
you
and
are
say, y'all give me
when
nothing.
Yes. That's right.
exactly right, how this man is getting, and he never planned to blade the grass,
Yeah.
but
Correct.
I'm not
Correct.
getting it, and I have incurred so much loss and all of that because we know the corruption in the distribution process, and they cannot do anything at this point to make that public because they'll be digging themselves into a hole of no recovery. But Sharon, I want to stress on a point, and I think we need to stress on it over and over again during this budget presentation, is that the excuse that was made by Deodat Indar when he came back to refute what I was saying, his basic excuse was, oh, we had COVID and we had flood. Within my presentation, I addressed the fact of COVID, and I made it very, very, very clear to the Guyanese people that the 2021 projections were made in the midst of the pandemic. The pandemic did not happen after the presentation and after these these performance marks goals were set. No, they set these goals with the knowledge that they are in a pandemic. And if you were to go to Ashley Singh's comments on NCN, he himself admitted that they had it is public knowledge that they had a policy that they opened back the economy very early,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then they have so many conflicting stories that they're coming with, but because they want to find an excuse why they missed all of these targets that they set. But no, you cannot blame COVID-19. You set those targets with COVID-19 already happening in the country. That was a consideration
That's
when
right.
those targets were set. So no, that is out. No one is to take that excuse. When it comes to the flood, and I want people to understand this when it comes to the flood, even with the numbers that they reported in their performance report, Mr. Ramjattan, especially when it comes to sugar, they say 4,300 hectares of sugar was actually destroyed by the flood. And if you are to actually deduct that, for sake of an argument, if you are to deduct that from the actual production that they had estimated and all of that, you will still see them falling short of the 2020
Target.
production.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
what they did. So there's absolutely no excuse for them to come with, no, don't bring the flood, no, don't bring COVID. It's blatant incompetence. What happened is that they were too focused on self benefiting policies, if I'm to put it like that, that they neglected to actually put real efforts into these sectors. And not only that, I told persons that they have delivered even now in this budget, the estimation, the projection that they have shared for sugar is just 65,000 tons. You know how dare these people come to the house and say that how they're going to rescue sugar when they are projected in 2022? What are they where did they get this number from now? 2019, 2020 rather, number was 87,000 plus tons. Now they're projecting that it's going to be 65,000 tons. And then they want to say, oh, the coalition didn't know what they were doing with sugar. It's not making sense. Your argument is laughable, but they have mastered, they're an amazing bunch of people. They go to the National Assembly and they stand there and they present numbers and arguments that makes absolutely no sense. Some of those things are blatant lies. And I dare say
Indeed.
the Minister of Agriculture wrote some letters himself, but I'll still be asking for copies from the speaker. Wrote some letters, typed some words on a paper, and said, "Oh, he received these letters." I mean that's political gamesmanship, but for argument's sake, I'll be requesting those letters, Mr.
Lies them a
Ramjattan,
tell.
because
Lies them a tell.
it's not right. It's not right
Yeah.
Lies
to
them a
lie like
tell.
that.
Lies them a tell. Juretha Fernandes, Shadow Minister of Finance, Khemraj Ramjattan, Shadow Minister of Agriculture, lead the Lines for Change, both members of Parliament. I want to thank you for your time on the program this evening, adding context and insight to these issues. Thank you so much, folks.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Awesome. That's our time this
Okay.
evening, guys. That's our time. We're going to see you guys right back here tomorrow for FYI. FYI, guys, we always say share the live stream, smash the emoji button, partner with us, and help our program to continue to grow. Good to see each and every one of you. We know we've been a little over our time, but good to see you guys have stayed. Thousands of you are still watching us. Ensure you share the live program before you go. Share in the ring as well. We want to see you guys smash that emoji button. Smash that emoji button. And as well, guys, partner with us. You want to know how to partner with us? Contact us on our WhatsApp number 6276963, and we're going to do exactly that. Give you some guidance how to do that. We are going to give you some guidance, guys, how to do that. That being said, great seeing each and every one of you. Richard Fordyce, Marcia, Aaron, Yvonne Daly, Carol Hudson, Jack Powers, Allen, all you other fantastic folks like Anthony Higgins, Diane Fordyce, Joylyn Cook, all you great people. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you guys. We're going to see you guys right back here in the morning at 8 o'clock for FYI. For your information, we have the one and only Amanza Walton Desir is going to be joining us, guys. And then we head over to the National Assembly. I'm the first one up in the morning at 10 o'clock to give my contribution to budget 2020, 10 o'clock in the National Assembly. First speaker up, yours truly. But before that, we're going to be back here for information. And Amanza Walton is joining the table tomorrow morning. Stay safe, guys. Thanks for joining the broadcast. That's our time. Stay safe. Stay safe.